This
जी
conference will now be recorded.
Can I start or?
या बिस्मिल्लाह प्लीज
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Ali, Ya Nur Maulana, Shah Kareem Al Hussaini, Hazar Imam, the global Jamaat ji kul mushkil आसान करी, नेक उम्मीद पूरी कर, आफतों बलाओं बीमारियों दूर कर, वदा जी नेक उम्मीद पूरी कर, आसान जी तस्बीह तो जज़्ब में कबूल कर, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. 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 मुश्किल आसान करो या अली, 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 मुश्किल आसान करो या अली. अव्वल तो आखिर तो ज़ाहिर तो बातीन तो रहमत रहमान तो रहमत रहमान तो. अव्वल तो आखिर तो ज़ाहिर तो बातीन तो रहमत रहमान तो रहमत रहमान तो. अव्वल तो आखिर तो ज़ाहिर तो बातिन तो रहमत रहमान तो रहमत रहमान तो. अव्वल तो आखिर तो ज़ाहिर तो बातिन तो रहमत रहमान तो रहमत रहमान तो. अव्वल तो आखिर तो ज़ाहिर तो बातिन तो रहमत रहमान तो रहमत रहमान तो. अव्वल तो आखिर तो ज़ाहिर तो बातिन तो रहमत रहमान तो रहमत रहमान तो. आखरतो साहेरतो बातानतो रामतो रैमानतो شكرا لله والحمد لله 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 شكرا لله والحمد لله. Kamar Yusuf, shall I continue or stop?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Shukran, alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Shukranillah, Walhamdulillah, Subhanallah, Shukranillah, Walhamdulillah. Tamam साथियों को या Ali Madad, and thank you for joining us this morning. Let's start our part 2 of Ilm and need of the Ilm, the importance of the Ilm in our tariqah. With the blessed name of Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Husaini Hazir Imam, Ya Maulaye Mehraban, Madad Farma, Alayul Qayyum, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Ya Maulaye Mehraban, help us Maula, help us Maula, guide us Maula. Ya Maulaye Mehraban, Ya Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Husaini Hazir Imam, तेरा नाम कितना मीठा है मौला. Ya Maula, your blessed name is so sweet that whenever we recite your name, our heart instantly gets filled with the love and the light. Ya Maulay Mehraban, Tawfiq, Ta'id, Himmat wa Yari Maula. तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला. या मौला, हमारे करीब खड़े रहना मौला. अपना मुबारक हाथ हम गरीबों पर रखना मौला. या मौला मेहरबान, यू नो मौला, आप जानते हैं मौला हम कितने गरीब हैं मौला, कितने जरूरतमंद हैं मौला. तेरे दर के गदा हैं मौला. या मौला मेहरबान, please stay close to us Mola, so we can learn Mola. Ya Mola Mehraban, Tawfiq, Tahid, Himmat wa Yari Mola. तमाम साथियों को एक बार फिर या अली मदद and welcome. Today we will continue with our topic on the ilm. Today is part 2 and all the friends that were with us last week. Remember a farman in which Mullah says, it is the soul with ilm which will rise step by step. And today we have a farman in front of us. We had end our previous session with a note that there are two kinds of mu'mineen, two kinds of jamaat, two kinds of followers. And then we had talked about three kinds of jamaat when it comes to ilm. I just wanted to repeat that before we read this farman. There is one who would say, I know everything, I do not need to learn anything. Then there is second kind of jamaat who will say, I don't know anything and I don't care to learn anything. जमात के अंदर दो किस्म के मोमिनीन हैं और तीन किस्म के मोमिनीन इल्म के लिहाज से हैं। एक जो कहते हैं कि हम सब जानते हैं, हमें कुछ सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है। दूसरे कहते हैं हम कुछ नहीं जानते हैं और हमें कुछ जानना ही नहीं है। और फिर there are third kind of Jamaat Momineen followers who says we don't know enough or we don't know anything, but we will love to learn. We like to learn because that is the farman of the Imam. Which Momin are you? Which Momin are you? Inshallah, we will fall under the great three. आज हम यहाँ पर तीसरी किस्म के मोमिन हैं कि जो कहते हैं हमें थोड़ा बहुत पता है या हमें कुछ भी पता नहीं है और हम सीखना चाहते हैं क्योंकि यही इमाम का फरमान है। और याद रखें कि देयर आर टू काइंड ऑफ मोमिनीन अकॉर्डिंग टू इमाम्स फरमान, वन ऑफ द ज़ाहिर and one of the batin. So there are two kinds of mu'minin in this world. There are zahiri mu'mins and there are batini mu'minins. Recite the salawat Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Imam Aga Sultan Muhammad Shah, Zanzibar, August 15, 1905 says, the first, those who are zahiri mu'minins are only happy here and they are content staying in this world. दुनिया में दो किस्म के मोमिन हैं। पहले जाहिर मोमिन है जो इसी दुनिया में खुश है। Ultimately they are buried here और वो यहीं दफन हो जाते हैं। They are bound by space and time, and their abode is on this earth. और वो वक्त और जगह की कैद में है और वो इसी जमीन पर रहते हैं। Then there is second kind of mu'mineen. Mullah says, but the second kind of mu'mineen are batini mu'minins. They are such that they are always moving forward. they are always moving forward because they are batini momin. They do not remain still. जो दूसरी किस्म के मोमिन है वो बातिनी मोमिन है और वो हमेशा आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं, कभी भी एक जगह खड़े नहीं रहते हैं. These मोमिन्स are constantly progressing. वो हमेशा तरक्की करते रहते हैं. Those men will go even higher than paradise. अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद. और वो जन्नत से भी ऊपर जाएंगे. If you remember our previous Quran Farman reference, that those who have no ilm says, I am not going anywhere. I'm staying here. But the mu'mineen with ilm, step by step, will climb to the next step. They are the one who will elevate themselves. Remember, our subject is the importance of ilm in our tariqah. And they are the one who has ilm, who will understand the batin. Amongst the many examples, we had used some of the example of the Jamaat Khana other day. Those who are Zahiri Momin, who has no ilm, who are happy and content by the world. What are their action? What makes them Zahiri Momin? What makes them Zahiri Momin? Because they see themselves more and more inclined in the worldly matter, and they will find themselves only obeying the physical rites and rituals. They have nothing to do with the batin, the meaning, the understanding, the ilm, the progress, the elevation. And they are happy. Remember, it is not about anyone else but us. Because it really doesn't matter who does what. It only matters what you do and how you follow your religion according to Imam's Farman. Because Imam again and time again have said, given the Farman, guided us and told us that our tariqah is the tariqah of batin, not of the zahir. Then ask yourself, what am I doing which is a batin or batini? Am I just following the zahir? Meaning 3-time dua, giving the sun, and enrolling yourself in Chandrat Majlis, going to Jamaat Khana every day. But that is the zahir of the tariqah. That is not batin of the tariqah. Let's compare our action to non-Ismaili Muslim. They go to masjid, you go to Jamaat Khana. They recite namaz, you recite dua. They give zakat, you give the son. What is the difference between you and him? They are following the Zahiri tariqah. You are following the Zahiri tariqah. What is different between you and him? What makes you a batini momin? What makes you a batini momin? Imam says here that there are two kind of momin. One who follows the zahir. Are we those mu'mineen who follow the zahir? I remember, sadly, unfortunately, how much our Jamaat loves zahir and argue about the zahiri rites and ritual. I am not saying the zahiri rites and ritual are not important. But more important is the understanding, the ilm of the batin, and following the batin of our tariqah. I'm not saying it. According to Imam's Farman. According to Imam's Farman. Our tariqah is the tariqah of the batin, not of the zahir. Not of the zahir. So the question again comes, what are we doing to follow the batin of our tariqah? What are we doing to follow the batin of our tariqah? And the answer is here. That those mu'mineen, the second kind of mu'mineen, are the batini mu'mineen. They are such that they are always moving forward. Question for us. Have we moved forward from the zahir? Have we done anything different than yesterday? Have we done anything different than last year? Have we done anything different than what we were doing 10 years ago? We were reciting dua 10 years ago. We are reciting dua today. What have you done to move forward? If you said nothing, by default, automatically we fall into category number 1. आज आपसे सवाल है कि आज आपने ऐसा क्या काम किया है कि आप कहें कि मैं अपने तरीके में आगे बढ़ रहा हूं? क्या आपने कोई ऐसा काम किया है जो कल नहीं किया था? आपने जो आज दुआ पढ़ी वही दुआ आपने कल भी पढ़ी थी। आज आपने कौन सा ऐसा काम किया जो पिछले हफ्ते, पिछले महीने, पिछले साल नहीं किया था? पिछले साल भी आप दुआ पढ़ रहे थे, आज भी आप दुआ पढ़ रहे हैं। आज आपने क्या ऐसा काम किया है कि जो आप कह सके ईमानदारी से कि मैं अपने तरीके में आगे बढ़ गया हूं? The batini mu'minin, they are always moving forward, they do not remain still. अगर आज भी हम वही शरीयत को निभा रहे हैं, फॉलो कर रहे हैं, जो हम 1 साल पहले और 10 साल पहले निभाते थे, if we are still doing exactly what we were doing 10 years ago, then how can we say we are batini mu'min as per Imam's wish? Aren't we supposed to follow Imam's Farman? How do we follow Imam's Farman? We cannot without the understanding, and you cannot understand without the ilm. Now ilm has become important to us to understand our tariqah, so we may move forward. These mu'mineen are constantly progressing, constantly. You should be able to gauge yourself and say, I'm doing something different today than I done last year, 10 years ago. I'm much better today than I was 10 years ago. The last question remained from this Farman. And these are the men who will go higher than paradise. ये वो लोग हैं जो जन्नत से भी ऊपर जाएंगे. क्वेश्चन इज, जन्नत से ऊपर क्या चीज है? क्वेश्चन इज, what is above the paradise? How do I know what is above the paradise? What do I need to do to get above the paradise? Answer is ilm, learn. Ilm, learn. Ilm, learn is the answer to your question. Without the ilm, without the learning, one will not be able to understand his
This
own
conference will now
tariqah.
be recorded.
I'm sorry, I was cut off. So one without the ilm and without the learning of the ilm and our tariqah will not be able to understand the question which are posed here. And that is that we should know what is the batin of our tariqah, and we should know how to progress, how to elevate, and who can elevate higher and higher, rank by rank every day. Those are the mu'mineen with ilm. They will progress every day. Now, when we talk about the ilm, there are many kinds of ilm, but here we will talk about few of the kind of ilm. We are not talking about information, and we are not talking about the general circular knowledge. We are talking about ilm of the imam, and we are talking about the batini ilm. Batini ilm. I'm sure throughout the years, especially in last 2 years, you have seen many people, speakers, and you will find them everywhere on the internet, everywhere on the Zoom. The question is, are they one with bookish knowledge, or are they with ilme laduni, the spiritual knowledge, the ilme imam? That is the question. Are they giving you something from the book which they have read, or are they giving you something of the imam's ilm, ilm laduni, the spiritual ilm? So now clearly we have two kind of speakers in front of us. One with bookish knowledge and one with spiritual knowledge. Then the question comes, what are the conditions to learn and understand the basic but true ilm? I hope that we understand our tariqah at least at the basic level. At least at the basic level. And what is basic level? That we know who is our Imam, why and what makes him the Imam, how is he selected and appointed to be the Imam, what qualifies him to be Imam. Am I asking too hard of the question? Or do we know the basic of our tariqah and the true ilm? Remember the question to self. Self-reflection is important, very important. Until we gauge ourselves and we ask these tough questions to ourselves, how would we know if we are standing still or do we understand the batin of our tariqah? How would we know? So let's try to learn some new ilm today. The difference between the bookish knowledge and ilm al-laduni. What are the conditions to learn and understand basic but true ilm? Be able to read between the line. This is the key. It is not what is written. It is the batin which is for us. What is written is for all, Maula Baba says. But the meaning and the tawil is for us. And that is be able to read between the lines. So when we read Ginan, it is not what is said, it is what is implied, what was not said. You want an example of that? Ask yourself honestly and raise your hand. Did you know that every Ginan are the spiritual experiences of the Pir? So when Pir gives us the Ginan, that is actually their spiritual experiences. That is reading between the line. जब हम कुछ चीज पढ़ते हैं तो जो लिखा हुआ है वो तो सबके लिए है, लेकिन उसका बातीन, उसकी तावील हमारी जमात के लिए है, हमारे लिए है, मौला बाबा फरमाते हैं। तो जब हम कोई गिनान को पढ़ते हैं, कोई फरमान को पढ़ते हैं, तो जो चीज लिखी हुई है वो तो सबके लिए है। इसकी एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं कि मिसाल लेते हैं कि जब हम गिनान पढ़ते हैं तो क्या हम इस बात को महसूस करते हैं, समझते हैं कि ये पीरों के रूहानी मुशाहिदात और उनका तजर्बा है जो उन्होंने गिनान के अंदर लिखा है। ये है वो चीजों को देखना, समझना कि जो नहीं लिखा हुआ है, उसको हमें समझना है। उसके बातीन के अंदर में उतरना है। सेकंड, फाइंडिंग द अंडरलाइन वर्ड्स। इन चीजों में कुछ अल्फाज वो हैं जो हमें एक तस्वुर देते हैं, वो अंडरलाइन वर्ड्स हैं। within the Ginan, within the Faramin, within the Quran, within the ilmi material, there are words which are underlined words which supposed to give you a concept, a higher understanding. That's how you understand the true ilm. Then the third, getting inspired by the new ilm. May I ask you to self-reflect. Be honest to yourself. Do you get inspired by this ilm? मैं आपसे आज ईमानदारी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि जब आप ये इल्म को सुनते हैं, ये इल्म को सीखते हैं, तो क्या ये इल्म आपको इंस्पायर करता है, आपको खुशी देता है, आपके अंदर एक नई रोशनी को उजागर करता है, आपकी अक्ल और अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऊपर जाती है? The true ilm should inspire you, should inspire you, should enlighten you. It should bring happiness. That was the third point. How do you know what is the true knowledge? And how do you learn true knowledge? How do you know the ilm-e-imam? Now we are coming to what is ilm-e-laduni. What is ilm-e-laduni? Let's learn that. When inspired by a word or ilm, when you are inspired by the ilm or a word in the ilm, if you are inspired by it, अगर वो आपके अंदर खुशी लाई है, अगर उसने आपको enlight किया है, then write it down, reflect on it again and again, and those who are intellectual will understand the depth in the words and will catch the truth in between the talk. In between the talk, as something must only be said in the well. ये बहुत बड़ा concept नाचीज आपके सामने पेश कर रहा है. I'm trying to present a deeper concept of the ilm. Those who are inspired by the ilm and by the words, what do? They will write down that word which touches their heart, and they will reflect on it again and again. And amongst you who are intellectual, आपके दरमियान में जो अक्ल वाले हैं, वो उन अल्फाजों की डेप्थ को समझेंगे. And the key word, and they will catch the truth in between the talk. और वो इल्म लदुनी को, इल्म बातीन को और इल्म इमाम को बातों के दरमियान में, लेक्चर्स के दरमियान में पकड़ लेंगे. क्यों? कि कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है जो बोलने की होती है, लिखने की होती है, और कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है जो ना तो बोलने की होती है ना ही लिखने की होती है. जो अक्लमंद होते हैं वो बातीन को पकड़ लेते हैं. We are still trying to understand what is ilm laduni. रूहानी इल्म व ताहिदी ilm is the spiritual knowledge and inspirational ilm. This ilm cannot be learned, cannot be read. This ilm does not come from the book, but are taught, are given from within yourself. The books and the teaching are the tools. किताबें और लेक्चर्स एक जरिया है हमें इंस्पायर्ड करने का. Those are the tools to inspire us, the books and the lectures. But the Ruhani ilm wa tahidi ilm, the spiritual knowledge and ilm laduni are inspirational ilm which cannot be learned, but it comes into you, into your batin during when you are reading, when you are learning, when you are listening. That should come to you. That is the inspirational ilm. That is the spiritual knowledge. That is the ilm al-laduni, which will be taught, which will come into you from your batin while you are reading the book, while you are listening to the lectures, while you are learning the ilm. Let me challenge your mind again. Remember, there are things which can be said and there are things which should not be said, cannot be said. But I feel that you are not listening to me, or you are listening to me, but do you hear me? Can you hear me? If you hear me, let
Yes,
me
hear
talk to
you.
you. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. When you are listening to the true ilm, it should inspire you. It should enlighten you. And you should be able to feel the happiness. That is true ilm. That is ilm al-laduni. That is Imam's ilm. That is what I'm trying to tell you, what ilm al-laduni is. None other than that is ilm al-laduni. That is Imam's true ilm. True ilm. Imam says, education is the purpose of understanding dunya and more important, understanding your deen, to understand God's creation. When Imam says, learn, 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 and when we ponder on ilm, 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 this is not so you can make some money. This is not so you have a seat, a name. This is there for you to understand your tariqah. In return, to understand God's creation. regards creation. So last thing we will do today, if you remember previous week, someone had asked a question, and Nachiz and Garib had said that sometime I agree, not intentionally, may Mola forgive our sin. कभी कभार हम जाने बगैर अनजाने में इमाम को मार्क करते हैं, इमाम के फरामीन का मजाक उड़ाते हैं। मौला माफ करे, अनजाने में करते हैं, इल्म के बगैर करते हैं, इल्म को समझे बगैर करते हैं। हम कहते हैं मैं तो मौला के फरमान को मानता हूं और मैं अपनी लाइफ को बैलेंस किए हुए हूं, बिकॉज इमाम से बैलेंस योर लाइफ, डोंट forsake deen for dunya, and we say we are balancing. And the most funniest one I have ever heard, that I used to see this gentleman in Jamaat Khana every day. All of a sudden, he stopped coming to Jamaat Khana every now and then. So I asked him, I said, what is happening, my brother? He said, I am balancing my life. I was like, what? He said, did you not hear the Farman of the day? He was telling me that, did you not hear the Farman of the day? Mullah said, balance your life. So now I come to 4 days Jamaat Khana, 3 days I socialize. I'm balancing my life. There is marking Imam without understanding Imam's फरमान. वो शख्स कहता है कि अब मैं सिर्फ 4 दिन जमात खाने आता हूं, 3 दिन छुट्टी करता हूं, क्योंकि आपने सुना नहीं, मौला ने कहा कि आप अपनी लाइफ को बैलेंस करें, दीन और दुनिया को बैलेंस करें। तो मैं 4 दिन जमात खाने आता हूं, 3 दिन फिरता घूमता हूं, सोशलाइज करता हूं। अकॉर्डिंग टू इमाम आई एम बैलेंसिंग माई लाइफ। इमाम के फरमान का मजाक उड़ाया इल्म ना होने की वजह से, इल्म ना होने की वजह से। So let's take our test. If you have a paper pencil, or if you can calculate in your mind, let's take a test. Are we balancing our life? Are we truly following Imam's Farman? That is my question. Honestly, okay? So let's, if you wanted to unmute, you are welcome to unmute and join me in this exercise. All right, so let's do this. Tell me, are we balancing our life? So how much time do we give to Imam and our Deen? And we will put that in our green light. So let's say every morning we wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, and let's say some of us go to Jamaat Khana, and we go to Jamaat Khana 2 hours. All right, 4 to 5, and we go to Jamaat Khana every day. Or we wake up for ibadat every day, and we give 2 hours in the morning for our deen, our dua and our ibadat. This 3 category: deen, dua and ibadat. This 3 category right here, this 3. Okay, how many hours do we have in the deen? So far 2 hours. So far 2 hours. Then we go to Jamaat Khana every day around 7 o'clock. All right, so let's put 1 more hour for the deen, dua, and ibadat. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. You also do the khidmat, right? You do the khidmat. And you go to Jamaat Khana for 2 hours in the evening to do the khidmat. How about, for the benefit of doubt, we give 1 more hour in the morning khidmat? So let's add a couple of more hours. If that is that we are doing khidmat every day, we are getting up in the morning every day, we are doing our deen, dua, ibadat, and khidmat. And khidmat. How many hours do we have now? Total in the green. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's say you are a very righteous, good mu'min, and you are also helping others. Let's say, how many hours would you like to add to this khidmat? Honestly, average 1 hour a day, or not even 1 hour a day. We don't go help people every day, do we? But let's, why not? Let's give a benefit of doubt and say we giving 1 more hour for the helping others. Now we are completely done with it.
This
Madad
conference
farma
will now
Mola.
be recorded.
Ya Mola, madad farma. Ya Mola, madad farma. Ya Mola, madad farma. So we are back online again. So we were talking about that we have completely done with our green line, which is our deen, our dua, our ibadat, even our khidmat, even our helping others. We are completely done with it. Is there anything else can we add to this green light? How about we give credit to our ladies? Our ladies normally do 12 o'clock noon tasbih. How about we give them that 1 hour, saying that they do their more afternoon tasbih every single day. Now we have 7 hours of green light. 7 hours. 7, right? So we can only come up with 7 hours of green for deen, dua, ibadat, khidmat, and helping, including our 12 o'clock tasbih. How about we give more credit to ourselves, more than we deserve, rightly said. How about every night before we go to sleep, we do some tasbih also? How about we add 1 more hour? Let's give more credit to ourselves than we truly deserve. All right. So now we have 8 hour. 8 hour. Show me where the balance is. No balance, right? Because rest of the time we give to dunya, we give to sleep, we give to work, we give to our social life, TV, etc., eating, taking shower. Where is the balance? Without the ilm, one cannot balance his or her life. Without the ilm, one cannot balance his or her life according to Imam's farman. So what do you need to do now? Tell me. You need to learn. Mola Baba says in his Golden Jubilee Farman in Garden Jamaat Khana, Karachi. In Golden Jubilee Faramin, 1997. Learn. So now let's see, can you and me together with the ilm, can flip this chart? Can we make it balance with this chart? With ilm, how much do we have so far? 8 hours. Can we change this chart with ilm? Let me show you. Join my hand. Let's change this chart according to Imam's Farman. Imam's Farman, okay? The Farman that you learn and understand with ilm. With ilm. With ilm, you can change this chart. Let's change this chart with ilm. That is the importance of ilm. When we don't understand, when we have no ilm, when we have no concept of what Mola Baba is telling us, we have no understanding of the Farman. What do? In the ignorancy, we mock the Imam. जब हमारे पास इल्म नहीं होता है, जब हम इमाम के फरमान को नहीं समझते हैं, तो by mistake, unfortunately, हम इमाम की मजाक उड़ाते हैं. So today, with ilm and understanding, and going forward, if you learn what we learned today, you will be able to balance your life according to Imam's Farman. According to Imam's Farman. Let's balance the life. All right? Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah alayhi, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, says, those mu'mineen who sleep with remembrance, with tasbiyat, with zikr of the Imam, we will count their sleep in ibadat. वो लोग जो तस्बीह करते हुए इमाम को याद करते हुए इमाम के जिक्र में सो जाते हैं। मौला फरमाते हैं मैं उसकी इबादत भी, मैं उसकी नींद भी, मैं उसका सोना भी इबादत में काउंट करता हूं। With this understanding, let's say we sleep at 10 o'clock and we sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning. How many hours do we have now? Remember, before we had 8 only. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Remember, we had 8 before. So now we have a new count. 13. What happened? Did we do something different? What changed, my friends? What changed? How did we balance our life? Did we do anything new? Only thing we did, with the ilm, we understood Imam's farman and we took 2 of the farman. One of the balance of the life, one of the zikr, tasbih, remembrance before you sleep. Before you sleep. Do you see? With the ilm and understanding, by learning how important is the ilm in our tariqah, quickly, without doing any extra effort. Or did we give some extra effort? We joined this ilmi class. Today, you gave your 1 hour to the ilm. In return, you were able to balance your life according to Imam's farman. That should do what to you? Tell me what this should do to you. When you are inspired by a word or ilm, you should write it down. You should reflect on it again and again. Remember this? And those who are intellectual amongst you, they will do what? They will catch the truth between the talk. What did we learn? What did we just learn? Ilm is very, very important in any tariqah, especially in the tariqah which is our tariqah. Through ilm, we can follow Imam's farman because we will be able to understand Imam's farman. And we will be able to balance our life according to Imam's farman. Now we are in the green. Inshallah, next week we will go even further on this chart and see how do we apply, because just listening doesn't do anything. If you just listen and don't follow, it will not do anything for you. We must listen, we must understand, we must learn, and then we must follow. Otherwise, खाली अपना 1 घंटा इधर आके देने में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है। जब तक कि हम इल्म को हासिल नहीं करते हैं, उसको समझते नहीं है और उस पर अमल नहीं करते हैं, तो क्या फायदा? We must receive ilm, we must learn, we must understand, we must follow. Then we can say we are inspired by the ilm. It has touched our heart and we have gone into the depth understanding of what we have learned. Let's stop here so we can open the floor for comments and questioning. Jika.
Jesus, subhanallah, sir, subhanallah.
Shukran Mola.
Friends, please share your questions in the chat. So, sir, we have one question right now. Friends asking, why is there a need to have implied knowledge versus making it clear for all to follow so all can benefit? Why the need for implied and deeper meaning of ilm? Can the true ilm be available to all for their benefit?
Very good question. I'm very impressed by this question. Great, good job. That is against the human nature. That is against Allah's sunnat and habit. It goes against every single thing that we see around us. Let's take some example. Look at the Ginan, look at the Quran, and look at the Farman. And then look at our worldly way of life. The schools and colleges are for all the humans. But who receives the knowledge? One who admits themselves into the school. आप देख रहे हैं दुनिया में कि स्कूल है, मदरसा सबके लिए है, लेकिन इल्म कौन हासिल करता है? जो स्कूल में अपने आप को इनरोल करता है. सेकंड टियर, सेकंड लेवल, एक और बुलंदी की तरफ आते हैं. Among those who enroll themselves in the school, who truly learns? Does every child who enrolled himself or herself into KG, nursery, first grade and 10th grade, do they learn? Or amongst them there are few who learns, other pass time? क्या सब बच्चे जो स्कूल जाते हैं वो पढ़ लिख कर बाहर निकलते हैं, या कुछ पढ़ लिख कर बाहर निकलते हैं और कुछ अपना वक्त जाया करते हैं? You will say that there are few who truly learn, other just pass time. हमारे तरीके में भी यही है. अक्सर इस्माइली जमा से आने जाते हैं अपना टाइम पास करने के लिए. I'm sorry to say, my apology, please forgive me. There are so many who comes and listen to the knowledge, to the ilm, but they are passing their time. They are not learning anything. I'm sorry to say that. Let me remind you of Imam's Farman, so you don't think that Aziz sir is saying something from himself. I'm not saying anything from my heart. According to Imam's Farman, 1945 Mission Conference, Africa. Imam says, there are amongst you who are ignorant of their tariqa. आप में से वो लोग हैं जो अपने इल्म के मामले में जाहिल हैं. You know who Imam was talking to? Not you and me. You know who were present at that time? Elite, chosen scholars, Bhagat of our time. But Imam said, you are ignorant of our tariqa. आप अपने तरीके के बाहर मामले में जाहिल हैं. You know why Imam said that? Imam said, there are many amongst you who do not understand your tariqa. क्यों जाहिल है? क्योंकि आप अपने तरीके को नहीं समझते हैं. You have enrolled yourself in Ismaili tariqa. In the name you are Ismaili, but you do not understand our tariqa. To answer your question, ilm is implied because ilm are only for those who are paying attention. Enrolling yourself is the first step. Listening is the second step. Third is understanding. And the fourth is applying that ilm to yourself. पहले आप क्लास में आते हैं, फिर आप सुनते हैं, ये तो सब करते हैं। आप में से कुछ उसको अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं, उस पर गौर करते हैं, उसको लिखते हैं, उसको समझते हैं, बार बार उसको दोहराते हैं, फिर उसको अपनी जिंदगी पर अप्लाई करते हैं। Those are the one ilm is for. Ilm is not for all. Let me end with this Farman line. What is written is for all, the batin is for us and our Jamaat only. Ji.
So we don't have any questions in the chat. Friends, if you have any questions, please unmute your device.
याली मदद सर।
Yali Madad.
सर आपने जो एक्सप्लेन किया ना बैलेंस लाइफ कैसे करना याली पापा के फरमान से, 2 फरमान आपने साथ में लेके समझाए, तो फिर आप लास्ट में बोले कि जो इंटेलेक्चुअल होंगे ना इसके बीच में मतलब रीड बिटवीन द लाइंस करेंगे, तो ये बार आप बता दो सर, एक बार हमको सिखाओ कैसे करना।
Oh, you see how I dearly love all of you because you truly want to learn. You give your 1 hour and you are one who truly wants to learn. तो जब इमाम फरमाते हैं अपनी लाइफ को बैलेंस करो, लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर। और जब इमाम फरमाते हैं कि जब आप सो जाओ तो तस्बीह करते हुए गिरियावजारी करते हुए सो, ताकि आपकी रात आपकी नींद भी इबादत में काउंट हो। तो लेट्स टेक दिस टू फरमान and see how do we read between the line. Okay, by just this two Farman. So Imam said, balance your life. Everything you do, and remember I said next week we will look at the chart further. And you know what my intention is? To make that chart 100% green. No red will be left on that chart. No red will be left on that chart. You know how? We're going to read between the line. So when we say, and when Imam said that even the sleep can be your ibadat, so what did we do? Number one, we just did not sleep. We did the tasbih before we sleep, right? Before we slept, we did the tasbih. But then there are people who sleep the sleep of an ignorant. And those are the mu'minin who sleep with enlightenment. So which sleep will be counted as ibadat? Read between the line. Which sleep will be count as ibadat? Read between the line. You who are with the ilm, with the enlightenment, when you sleep, your sleep will be counted as ibadat because you will not sleep like animal, like ignorant. That's why I gave that third farman. That amongst you there are who are ignorant because they do not understand your religion. Did you read between the line?
Yes sir, thank you so much. Subhanallah sir, shukr.
Shukr alhamdulillah.
So every act can become ibadat, 24 hours whatever we do, right sir?
And we will learn
Yes, inshallah.
every
Yes.
single thing because that is all ilm is about, right? Learn, learn and learn. Inshallah. this is going to be a long journey on the ilm. It's going to be a huge ladder we're going to climb on the ilm. At the end, we will find ourselves at the top of the ladder of the ilm. With the ilm, knowledge, understanding, and then when we apply that to ourselves, spiritually, we will elevate as well. Ilm-wise and spiritual-wise, we will elevate ourselves. G.
So we don't have any questions yet in the chat. Friends, anyone have any questions? Please unmute your device.
Any comments, any question? It can be just a general comment if you like, what you understood, or something that you'd like to learn further, or a farman, line or word which we did not catch or understood.
या अली मदद सर,
Ya Ali Madad.
एक तरीका ये भी है ना, लाइक अगर आप सारा दिन भर जिक्र करते रहो कोई भी, तो दिस आल्सो एन इबादत, एक्ट ऑफ इबादत, लाइक वो भी उसी में काउंट हो सकता है.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Yari Madad
Sorry,
sir.
sorry.
You can see we are already reading between the line. G, we have to unmute.
Yeah,
Dr.
sorry. I'm sorry. I just missed what my sister said just moments ago.
Oh, G, she said, according to Imam Farman, we're supposed to remember him whenever we have a chance. So, other word, if we are reciting or remembering Imam all day long, just like before we sleep, then we can count those also as ibadat. That's what she was saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
G, Dr. Saib, you were trying to say something?
Yes, Yari Madad sir. Having a personal comment, I think hearing the Farman one time is never enough. The more often we read or more often we hear and we have the niyyah, then Imam lets us know what the meaning is, and then that Farman or that Ginan or that piece of ilm, you feel that was for your guidance, and then you internalize and use it for action. Just a simple comment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, reading Farman again and again, pondering on ilm again and again, listening to the lectures again and again, making notes of the things that you liked, and going back and reflecting on it again and again is very important in the journey of the ilm. Subhanallah, Dr. Saib, thank you. Any other comments or question?
याली मदद,
Ya Ali Madad.
मैं ये सोचती हूँ कि अगर हम जॉब पे जाते हैं और अगर हम ईमानदारी से उस जॉब को करते हैं या अपने टाइमिंग्स में हम कोई गलत काम नहीं करते हैं या उस दौरान भी हमारे जहन में जिक्र चलता है, तो ये भी इबादत है. यहाँ तक कि अगर हम किसी से घर में बात करते हैं या किसी के साथ मुस्कुरा के बात करते हैं या किसी की कोई हेल्प करते हैं, ये सब चीज इबादत में शामिल हो सकती है, आई थिंक.
Very good. ये बहुत अच्छा सोच है. It's a very good thought. Inshallah, next week I will like to add to your comment one more comment, and you
Thank
can
you.
see how can you convert your daily life, your work, even your job, even your cooking into ibadat. Shamim, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. याली मदद.
Aziz sir, I have a comment.
Ji.
Ali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad.
For me, I have forever and ever, I've been reading, listening, and internalizing whatever I read. And I also have an inner voice from Mola Baba explaining a Gnan verse that I read over and over because it touched my heart when I was sitting in Khane for the first time and I heard it. And then I tried to find the lyrics, try to understand what it is. And then Mola Baba is also explaining to me. Because at the end of the day, the biggest thing we have to remember is we have the whole world around us, but Mola Baba spirit is also with us, within us. So he's always there. He's always there with us. This is my understanding. Thank you, and Yali Madad.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Thank you for sharing your inspiration. G.
Yali Madad, a comment?
Yali Madad. G.
So a comment to say that ilm, and as you begin to or are on the wavelength or vibration of ilm, then that connects to the divine intellect automatically, and automatically the knowledge comes from within. As you go through your day or night or wherever you are, soon as you are connected to that divine intellect, which we all can, then the knowledge comes from everywhere and from within, from within.
Subhanallah. Yes.
But this, it's the strength of that vibration. So the more you engage in spending more time or incorporating more of your time in remembrance, the more that intellect you have access to.
Subhanallah.
And through that intellect, more comes to you.
So what you just said, validate and verify the initial point we made at the beginning of the session, that not just bookish knowledge, but when we listen to the ilm of the Imam, which inspires us, what you just said, then it will connect you.
Correct.
To receive the inspiration within yourself. Subhanallah. Very good understanding and comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. G. Any other comments, Kamar Sahib? Any questions? Anyone? We can take one last question before we stop.
There's nothing in the chat yet.
Okay. Anyone would like to make a comment or question? If not here, inshallah, we will continue next week on the third part of the importance of the ilm and our tariqah. Thank you, everyone. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, and thank you.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad sir, Mola Sukhi Salamat Abad Rakhe.
Ameen, Ameen.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. May Mola bless you always.
Ameen, Ameen. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad sir.
Yali Madad. Mola तुम्हारी सेवा कबूल करे.
Ameen, Ameen.
Shukr Mola. Thank you.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Shukranillah walhamdulillah. Shukranillah walhamdulillah. Shukranillah walhamdulillah.